Glad to have you join me on another informative episode of Housing Development. As always, I am your housing diva, Flora Ani. Achieving low-cost housing in Nigeria that low-income areas can afford is one issue we can stop talking about on this program. Let's see the news making rounds in the sector. I'll be back shortly.
Stakeholders in the construction industry have lamented over the mass migration of qualified artisans and licensed experts from the sector to other nations, which has posed a major threat to the country's future development. The experts, drawn from the 7 professional bodies connected with the construction sector, issued the warning during a roundtable event held in Lagos by AgVision Workshop Limited on the theme Enhancing Quality Management in Project Delivery. Lucky Iseneme, chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Building, Lagos chapter, stated that the younger generation has the mindset of migrating after being trained in the country because the country's tertiary institutions were not producing graduates to meet the actual needs of society, leaving the few trained by construction firms to use the knowledge in developed countries. He emphasized that the impending crisis should not be overlooked if development must be sustained. The Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDAN, have said the Central Bank of Nigeria new withdrawal policy, if implemented, will lead to a rise in the price of housing units. According to a memo released in November, the CBN announced a limit on cash withdrawals made by individuals and organizations with effect from January 9, 2023. The president and chairman of the Council of Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, Aliyu Wamako, during an interview, noted that the policy have potentials of making life difficult for the 38 million Nigerians who are not accustomed to banking activities, especially unbanked adults, representing 36% of the populace. The association have, however, called on the federal government to review the policy not only for the learned, but also for those in the rural areas who do not know what the bank is all about, calling for a rethink in order to make life and housing ownership easier for the people. Housing Development Advocacy Network, HDAN, has raised an alarm over the illegal deduction of 40% of national housing contribution domiciled in the remittal account of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Executive Director of HDAN, Festus Adebayo, in a release in Abuja, pleaded with whosoever was responsible for the reduction to return it between now and the end of December 2022. According to him, it was expected that subsidy be provided for civil servants by the government instead of deduction of deposits of workers. He went further to say that if the deductions were not returned, HDAN will take the federal government and others who are involved to court.
For more housing, finance, and construction news, do well to visit www.africanhousingnews.com. The most anticipated, prestigious Africa Housing Awards has come and gone, but the impact is created and the memory will linger on for a long time in the minds of so many as winners emerge in different award categories. Now let's take it one step at a time, starting with the individual category.
The sixth edition of the most prestigious Africa Housing Awards, which just recently concluded at the International Conference Center, Abuja, was an evening of accolades and heart-duffing. The awards is designed to celebrate excellence in Africa's housing and construction industry. Individuals who have shown dedication, hard work, and contributed immensely to the development of the sector were recognized. Speaking with these outstanding individuals, they expressed deep satisfaction having been seen as worthy recipients of the Housing Awards.
So tonight I was awarded the CEO Excellence Award for a real estate company at the African Housing Awards 2022. It makes me feel appreciated, it makes me feel that all the hard work and all the dedication is paying off, and it makes me want to even do more.
Yes, of course, I'm here because my MD CEO, Ajia Saidia Aminu, a very, very vigorous, active, brilliant, intelligent, great woman who has led the company for a couple of years now, is going to be honored as the best female CEO of the year. And I'm so excited and so proud of her, and then that's why we're here to celebrate that.
After such careful voting processes and having emerged winners, these individuals are encouraged to do more for the advancement of the housing industry.
Definitely, with this award and with this recognition, it means that we are on the right path. It means that we are doing something that has been recognized, and it gives us the encouragement to even do more. So expect more from UPDC, expect more from me next year.
It's been quite tough. Obviously, with the price of materials, it's not very easy to make a house and within the reach of ordinary people, but it's a continuous battle, and we're still at it. There's at no time will we say that we finished the war. It's a war. It's consisting of several battles and there are lots of difficulties along the way. But God helping us, we're trying to ensure that we're able to keep prices of houses as low as possible.
It is worth noting that the Africa Housing Awards seeks to demonstrate the importance of strategic innovations from individuals that seeks to provide affordable, disaster-resilient, inclusive, and sustainable housing in Africa.
The African Housing Awards also witnessed the recognition of leading real estate and construction companies who has done notably well in the development of housing for Nigerians. Let's have a look at the winners.
The glamours of festivity, celebration, dance, music, and relaxation were highlights at the sixth edition of the most prestigious Africa Housing Awards, which witnessed the recognition of leading real estate and construction companies who had done notably well in the development of housing for Nigerians. The 2022 awards recognized and celebrated these organizations for their unrelenting dedication and innovations in the provision of more affordable housing. These top-ranking companies include Dangote Cement, Urban Shelter Limited, CDK, West Africa Ceramics Limited, Landmark Africa, Nigerite, Adron Homes, and several others in the built industry. Speaking with a number of them, they expressed gratitude for the honors.
Violet Leaf has been in existence for a year plus now, and it's been awesome. Awards like this make it worth it, so it's been great, really. Yes, definitely more work. So for Violet Leaf, we're looking forward to having a platform that further solves the three major problems that are quite evident in the industry. So those problems are credibility, visibility, and lack of data. So please watch out for Violet Leaf. We're going to have a lot of features on our platform that will ensure that we take care of all of those problems. In the coming year, we look to actually achieve greater heights, and we're sure to be back here next year with maybe 4 or 5 more awards. So look out for us, yes?
We got an award tonight.
Interesting.
For Customer Service of the Year by the African Housing and we really appreciate this. They have been a long-term partner, and we believe that going into the future, we'll continue to partner with them on all fronts to make sure that we're able to, in our own way, add value to the housing needs of Nigeria and provide more opportunities and support for Nigerians to own their homes.
Affordable housing advocate in Africa, Festus Adebayo, also the organizer of the annual award ceremony, gave the assurance that this year's edition of the Africa Housing Awards were independently collated with the use of enhanced, innovative and technology-driven voting and judging processes. Some of these companies, having emerged as winners, took the fort to strive further in the development of housing for Nigerians.
I'm very happy and to be here and to get this award for our company. On behalf of our group, the CNBM, China National Building Material Group, which is global #1 for the building material. And we wanted to do some contribution for Nigeria. We decided to invest in Nigeria. You know, for the new building material, it's just a new material, new technology in the recent 2 decades, the whole world. So, and this factory is the new technology and with green, environmental friendly, and is the #1 in the whole Africa. So we make the first station is in Nigeria.
We've worked so hard, and we like that we're getting the recognitions that we're doing something in the sector, and we're proud of it, and we appreciate the organizers of this event for recognizing us for this. As a business and as an organization, our objective is to continually change the dynamics in the sector that we play in, redefining the space and the scope, and drive conversations around the business and the products that we produce. So even though we accept this recognition and we acknowledge it, as a business, we also are focused on pushing the envelopes all the time.
The Africa Housing Awards seeks to demonstrate the importance of strategic collaboration amongst real estate companies to foster innovations, promote and reward organizational initiatives, address real needs of Nigerians, and provide affordable and sustainable housing in Africa.
Welcome back. You're watching Housing Development. The real estate sector has become lucrative, and it is contributing in its own way to curbing unemployment in Nigeria. There are different levels of people involved in the real estate business. At every point, there are always people searching for specific types of properties to buy, lease or let, and whatever they are seeking for is definitely available somewhere. The job of an estate agent is to connect these groups together for a fee or a portion of fees popularly called agency fee. This brings us to the question, how much do you think an agent's fee should be? Let's feel the pulse of some Nigerians on Voices on the Streets.
Agent fee is supposed to be a certain percentage, but in most cases it is not a percentage. The agent give price, which sometimes is a little bit on the higher side. To me, it should be at least between 1.5 to 2%.
It is very high because sometimes when the landlord they hand over the house to them, sometimes they increase the money to them. Maybe like you want to get just a room, not a room self-contained like that, and they ask you to pay 50,000 naira. And if you want to connect with the agent, they'll be asking to be like 60,000. So it is pretty very high. I like because it's not something they have worked for. You understand? They are just trying to, get something out of nothing. So like even 1%, it's pretty very okay. And sometimes even though you walked in, not that they will usher you or they will come and show you the house, you just like walked in and then meet the tenant there they must direct you to go and meet the agent when you do not even connect with an agent, and they will still be asking you to bring the agent fee.
Agency fee in Nigeria does not have particular price. Depends who you are dealing with. If somebody asks me now, please, can you get me 3-bedroom flat for sale or for rent? I will get it for him. Normally, he's supposed to give me 5%, and do you know the house give me 5%. But people can come on negotiate and say, I cannot give you 5%. Can you take 2%? It's negotiable. It is not by fault that somebody must give you 5% or 10%.
For me, I think it's actually on the high side. When you come first, they will ask you to probably bring money for them to go and search for the place. Like they first of all collect some amount of money, some collect 10,000 there. It's not actually the agency fee. This one is actually money for them to go and look for the house for you. Yes, they do that. Then after you must have given them, they call it registration money. Then after you must have given them, when they have found the house for you, they will still add the agency fee in any amount you're going to pay to the landlord when you're paying for the rent. So I think they're actually exploiting people sometimes, but some people are actually sincere, but a whole lot of them, let me just say 90%, are actually exploiting. It depends on the house you're renting. There should be different prices for self-con or flat, depending on whether it's 2-bedroom or 3. And then for a self-contained, I don't think the agency fee should be 2%.
What I see there is that it depends on the location you are renting your house. Like for me, when I was in Jukwe, there the agent's fees on me are collecting 5,000. But coming down to Asokoro extension, they are collecting 10,000. But to me, it's very high because sometimes when someone wants to rent a house, the person might not be all that comfortable like that. The money might not be there. So for you now coming to demand of 10,000, 5,000 or 20, because some places up to 20,000. So it's too high. For me, it's too high. Because some places a house can go for 500,000. If you calculate the 10% of it, you know it's much. Yes. So for that, for me, I would say basically let it not be based on the percentage of the house. Let it be generally 10,000 or 5,000.
Voices on the street there. No matter the agent's fee for an agreed property, it is advised that agency fees are to be paid only after a deal has been reached and not before. I'll be back in a moment.
What you think, what you wish, what you dream, we can give you home, your office, anywhere.
At Urban Shelter Limited, we are committed to your satisfaction in terms of good housing construction, infrastructure, flexible payment plans, and that's not all. We uphold affordability, reliability, quality, and innovation. Urban Shelter, distinctive homes, prestigious offices.
The African Housing Awards, in collaboration with Housing Development Advocacy Network, awarded state governors and commissioners and ambassadors who have distinguished themselves in the Nigerian housing sector in their various states. Now let's take a look at more awardees who were recognized and celebrated at the event.
In a bid to fan the flames of excellence and national achievement, political leaders and representatives worthy of national honor were recognized at the Africa's Housing Awards 2022 in Abuja. Amongst them were His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Governor May Malabuni, who was recognized as the Housing-Friendly Governor of the Year due to his remarkable contribution to housing development, including his initiatives in constructing over 2,000 housing units across the state, being the single largest housing intervention in the history of Yobe State for over 40 years.
I wish to appreciate and to commend the African Housing Awards and Mr. Festus Adebayo for another unique approach of recognizing governments, corporate organizations and individuals who have excelled in the provision of housing, considering the high cost of building materials in the country.
Life Achievement Awards were given to architect Sonny Echono, Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, and architect Musa Sada, former Minister of Mines and Steel Development, as worthy icons whose marks will always remain in the history of achievers in the housing industry.
Architect Musa M. Sada, CON. Architect Sonny Echono, former President, Nigerian Institute of Architects. Please a round of applause.
Speaking with the Honorable Ambassador of Nigeria to Burundi, he had this to say about the award ceremony.
Most importantly is from policy perspective to also draw government attention to the need for a lot of work to be done in affordable housing. A lot can happen. Development can be triggered through affordable housing. So it's one of the areas that I believe that even as we're in the electioneering season, I'm sure a lot of candidates are going to be cross-examined on what kind of policy they have for affordable housing for the betterment of the nation.
While recognizing the Edo State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Omo Isoken, as the Commissioner for Physical Planning of the Year, she expressed joy and readiness to do more in Edo State.
Edo State government has been doing a lot to affect positively our physical environment. And in that we have brought out 2 master plans, 30-year master plans. So we first of all started with developing 2 master plans, the Benin City Master Plan and the Edo State Regional Development Plan. And from there we started with Operation Plan Edo, which is not just planning but understanding from the communities what they actually need. We work with Edo Property Development Agency, which is the property arm of the state, to make sure that we make land available, we provide infrastructure, because that will bring down the cost of housing. So we're doing that with them, and then we're offering affordable housing. We're also working with the mortgage companies in Edo to make sure that they're able to get housing.
For these awardees, the motivation and drive to achieve more in the area of housing has been stirred up to fulfill their obligatory roles as leaders for the Nigerian citizen.
That is the much I can bring on today. Thanks for watching Housing Development. You can watch today's episode over again and previous episode on the YouTube channel Housing TV Africa. Don't forget to stay safe as you merry and wind this festive season. Merry Christmas in advance. I remain your housing diva, Fleur Annie. Do stay safe.